I ain't never recorded really in front of nobody, so hold on, like I gotta like okay. Hey y'all, welcome to the Mental Odyssey. Today we're gonna be talking about relationships. It's gonna be from a guy's perspective and obviously a female's perspective.
It's Darius. It's my about third time doing a podcast, so I hope y'all enjoy it. Social media. Do you feel like social media influence a certain standard?
Okay, personally, from like a regular person standpoint and someone who does social media. As a person who does social media, yes, I feel like it does. I feel like, especially with females, like you gotta like look a certain way or present yourself a certain way on social media to be like fit in or be accepted. So like there's a certain standard with that, but just like a regular person in regards to social media, I don't feel like, no, you don't have to fit a standard. You can just be yourself. Because I mean, people get on Instagram and just post family pictures and shit like that. So, but I feel like from like the influencer or content creator aspect, or if you do fashion or any topic, then yeah.
Definitely, I feel the same way. It really depends on what type of field you in on social media. Like, say if you want to be an IG model, you definitely got to fit that standard, like the BBL, the lipo, whatever it may be, like that's popping right now, you know. So I definitely agree with you, man. Feel about social media as a whole.
I feel like social media can take over a lot of people's lives. I feel like a lot of people sometimes take social media too seriously. Like we be forgetting it's just the app that people post on. Like, especially like the quotes or like those videos, they'd be like, oh, if you swiped on this video on this day, you were meant to see it. Like, I feel like that stuff is just like, I know it's clickbait and stuff like that, but people just take it like to the T. Like they get real sensitive and real like specific with that shit. So I feel like it's a little like got a little consumption over some people, but it just depends on how you handle it.
I really don't care for social media. Like, I'm not really big into it. Like, did you see this? You could tell me you seen something, and I probably ain't never seen it in the whole world. Probably seen it. Like, but it is entertainment, like TikTok. You know,
TikTok's funny.
Like social media is evolving. Like it's crazy. Like back in the day, they didn't have social media. We was all outside. We was riding bikes and scooters. You know, like,
till the street lights came on.
Exactly. You don't see that nowadays. So I feel like social media it's really taking over. But like you said, like some people have their egos because they have such and such on social media, so they think they, you know.
That's true.
Just because they social media, you know. So it does change. Like they change people. I've seen it change people. So yeah, that's my answer. I feel about social media slang, toxic, sexy men, girls, and guys having to fit a certain standard.
Oh shit. Okay. So what was the first one again? Hold on.
How you feel about social media slang?
Okay. Overall, I think it's real. I think it's real extra because people just be coming up with anything, and because, like I said, how consumptuated social media is, people like take it and it's like, oh, I'm finna start using that. Like Cardi B was like, oh, or whatever. Everybody was doing that, or period, or per, or sis, or like the list really goes on. I feel like it's a little extra. Like at first, I'm not gonna lie, because you know I do social media. I caught on to it. I did it a couple times just to like, and then I realized kind of how cringy it was. So I feel like as a whole, it's extra. It's extra and unneeded. It's just random terms that people be making up.
Girls and guys having to fit a certain standard.
Yeah, kind of back to like what I said on the first one. Like girls, if you want to be like an influencer, celebrity, whatever, you know, niche that you're in, there's certain things you have to do to fit in that niche. So like if you do fashion, okay, you got to post clothing videos. Okay, you're a guy, you do gaming, you got to post gaming like snippets and stuff, and like challenges and the different games you do. So yeah, there's a certain like standard and like a certain like baseline that you have to go by. But like I said, other than that, if you're just a regular person, like just posting on Instagram, whether it's just like, I don't know, volleyball pictures, you're in high school, or you got family and you're posting your family, then social media isn't fitting a standard. You're just sharing your memories to share your memories with people who follow you.
Sassy men and toxic.
Okay. About that, I don't think sassy men is a thing in my opinion. I feel like it's more the aspect of like a guy kind of like, okay, low-key standing his ground a little bit. So like girls don't really get used to like guys one being soft or sensitive or even talking about their emotions, because that's rare. Like most ain't raised that way, so it's like they think it's like a femininity thing when they kind of get to that point of like softness a little bit. I guess I wouldn't call it softness either, but like channeling like their inner emotions and like being more communicative and vocal. So I don't feel like sassy men really fits anything. Like they'll be like, oh, an attitude. Well, everybody gets upset, everybody get pissed off about something. So like I don't feel like that makes somebody sassy because one, they're a male and they're doing something in a way to express their emotions or how they feeling. And then toxic, I mean, toxic is, it kind of describes itself. I mean, toxic is basically like a narcissist, a manipulator, somebody who gaslights you and just, you know, makes you feel like shit, long story short. But I hate that it's like a stickler for men specifically. Like they just automatically assume like all guys are toxic, or they have like, or the other slang, what is it, red flags and green flags. Like, okay, everybody has their weaknesses and strong points and shit that they have to work on, but like it's the slang and like how y'all just reach really, really far with it. Like some people will be like, I gotta think of an example. Like they'll be talking about a guy and they'll say, well, oh, because he asked me to go to Cheesecake Factory, that's a red flag. But because he asked me to take me to Red Lobster or Cheddar's or some shit, that's a green flag. Like, first of all, food is food. I don't know what the fuck. Listen, food is food. But in the same breath, it's just how far y'all be reaching with
spending my money.
Exactly. And vice versa. It could be the girl spending money either way. But I don't think that makes a female a red or green flag over where she decided to take you to eat. Like, that's stupid.
I'm gonna answer sassy, because I got real something to get off my chest about that.
Okay.
So sassy, like it goes back to what you were saying. Like some men, like some women, they just want us to be hard all the time and tough. Like we got feelings too. Like y'all cussing us out and stuff like that, and y'all think we posted this. First of all, I'm not finna go back and forth with you cussing.
Mm-hmm.
And period. That's just me though. But you know, some women want that. They want you to keep cussing. Nah, that's not me. But what if that hurt my feelings? Like, y'all don't think about that. Like, y'all call us bitch ass niggas and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that may hurt our feelings. I don't know. But if we say something or address it, like, hey, why'd you call me that? Oh, we being sassy, we soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't fair. That ain't fair for us.
Right. I think people be forgetting that like males still have emotions and they still feel shit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, people think Rod Wave like is, you know, he talk about his feelings. Like, that's how he feel. Y'all can't be like, that's depressing. That's just how he feel. Like, he got feelings too. But, you know, listen to these other rappers, they just talking about fucking bitches getting money and all that. I bet they got feelings too, but that brings back to social media. They gotta fit a certain standard.
Mm-hmm.
If you a rap hip hop artist, you gotta fit that drug dealing, all that. But ain't probably done shit a day in your life. But you talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta fit that certain standard.
I feel like everybody should just embrace their personality and just be yourself and just be unique. Like I be doing stupid shit. People find it funny. Like, that's just what I get when I'm just I don't really take a lot of shit seriously, because first of all, the way life is set up, you don't really need to take too much seriously, in my opinion. But
personal development.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, like, I used to be wild, you know, like back in the day. Like I done been in some life or death situations, plenty of them, and I feel like after being like going through a whole lot, you know, like in and out of juvenile jail, and seeing your mama and daddy cry and stuff like that, like eventually, like, that stuff brings a toll on you. Like, dang, I need to see the bigger picture type stuff. Like, that's gonna be a point at time where you're gonna be in a worse situation that you can't get yourself out of, and it may be too late for you. It cost you your life just because you want to push it to the limit. Like, I done did this, I done got away with, you know, somebody putting a gun to your head or whatever it may be. And the second time you may not get that lucky. So development, like, you just gotta see the bigger picture before it's actually too late. What sign it may be for other people, but like for me, like it was when I was in a life or death situation. Like,
so personal development for me would probably have to be like definitely on like a life experience. Like me personally, I was bullied a lot growing up because I went to like an all white school. I'll just be honest. And you know, I was like one of like one or two like black girls in the school, so I got picked on a lot. But I feel like that helped me with my personal development and to turn me into who I am and the confidence I have for myself and like the self-love I have for myself, because it definitely took years. Like for some people it can take months, it can take a year to really figure out what you want in life, who you are, what you accept, what you don't accept. And growing up all the time, I always used to be told you need to figure out who you are and figure out what you want. But when anybody would ever tell me, like, figure out who you are, like, I know who I am. I'm Kiera. I like this, it's, and third, but it has a deeper meaning than that. So personal development, my aspect means it's about the lessons you learn. It's about the life experiences that you endure and how it shapes you into the person you are today. So, like, yeah, people will go through a lot of trauma as a kid, this, that, and the third, but just because of it, basically what you went through doesn't make you who you are, is what I'm trying to say. So like, you could have went through some really fucked up shit, but that doesn't mean that now you're an adult, that you're a fucked up person. You could be an absolute sweetheart, you could be a gentleman, you can be well mannered and respectful. Like, just because of what you experience, it don't make you what you endured. Do you agree?
I agree with you. Mental health for both men and women.
So with that one, you describe like how you feel about, you know, things in regards to men's mental health. Do you feel like it's not talked about enough? Do you feel like your whole feel on that, and then your feel on women's mental health? That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like mental health is very important. Like, I feel like that's the number one thing really for anyone, and it's not talked about. Like you need a break in life from whatever you may be going through. Believe in taking that mental health break, even from a job. You need that mental health break from anything. It could be your kids, it could be your husband, it could be your wife. I feel like mental health is very important, and some people need to find ways to get that mental health. What do you have to do to get your mental health stable? Like, mine's is I smoke weed, sit in my car, and be at peace.
Well, I mean, shit is peaceful to be.
Like that's where I learned that.
Answered on both spectrums, like as a whole.
For women, I think definitely, both for anyone, especially for women, because I feel like women go through more stuff than men. I feel like women just got a lot more going on than men in most cases, because y'all get pregnant, y'all gotta deal with hormones, y'all may be going through postpartum for 2-3 years, y'all don't know.
True, that's true.
So I feel like y'all have a cycle, and y'all have way more mood changes than men. Like, it's very important for women mental health to be stable, especially as a lot of single parents. And most of the time, the mother got full custody.
For me, I'm gonna go the male aspect first and then go to the women. So my opinion for the male aspect when it comes to mental health, I feel like it's definitely not talked about enough. Like, first of all, I take like the, month thing like kind of serious in some aspects. Like, there was mental health month, it was like men's mental health month, that's what it was called. And like, you didn't really see nobody post about it, you don't see nobody talk about it, the importance of mental health, different resources guys can get to help with their mental health. But any other time, you can scroll on Instagram and see a sad girl and be like, oh, her mental health matters, her feelings matter, this isn't being invalidated. But if you see a male, they're like, oh, he's soft, he need to be more hard body, or he need to go walk it off, or be more manly about it, let it go, you're not supposed to dwell on things or hold grudges, something about it makes you stronger. And that should be irking my soul, really, because it's like, you can really see the shift and difference within society and people's mindset and how they think about things, because you can literally see a man sad on social media and a female, and the interactions are so much different than what you would anticipate. So I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like men's mental health is extremely important, because there's a lot of shit that guys don't talk about, because either it's just that deep to them, or they don't feel comfortable, and they already know how most people are going to act when they speak on that certain situation. So I feel like we need to do better. We definitely need to do better, especially as a whole. Like, not even just the women interacting and saying men are soft. Like, it really be everybody. So we all need to do better and be there for each other more. But the way that the world is, that probably ain't gonna never happen. Women's mental health, I do agree with what he said. I feel like women do go through a lot, especially growing up aspects, like childhood trauma, and like how boys and girls are raised is way different. Like, for example, my siblings, like, he was able to date and go see girls and have a girlfriend and this, that, and the third, and stay out late by the time he was 15. But a 15-year-old girl, she's not about to stay out late or have a boyfriend or be able to do this, that, and the third. I had to beg to go to a football game on a Friday. Like, it's so different for girls, but it's also different for girls because you girls can get pregnant, girls can, so much can happen. So I understand the strictness in that regard. But I also feel like because of that shapes women's mental health as well, because it all starts from your overall environment. Same thing for males, of course. But I feel like we go through a lot more because of, one, how we're raised, how we're told to be. Oh, you have to be married by a certain age. You have to go to college. You have to have a degree. You have to do this. No man's going to want to talk to you if you act like this. Like, one of the sticklers about me is, like, I dress very differently. So, like, growing up, like, it was very prominent that my mom would try her absolute hardest to get me to wear a dress. And I was just not a dress girl. But, like, I like, sweatsuits and sweatpants and Jordans and shit like that. That's just the shit I like. I'm just like, it sucks because it's put into your head that you have to fit a certain standard. You have to dress a certain way. You have to be this feminine, or it's something in society that it don't fit. And then every time we would leave the house, as a girl, my mental health, leaving the house, it's like, I'll put on what I want to put on, and I'm told that I got to go change because you got to think about how other people are going to perceive you. And that's another thing that fucks with mental health, because everybody's always thinking, well, this person may not like me, or this isn't going to go well, this interview finna be ass, and this, that, and the third, because of how your upbringing and how you were raised. So I feel like in both aspects, yes, it's not as easy for the males and it's not talked about enough. Yes, it's hard for the females as well because of their difference in upbringing. But in the same heartbeat, like, both just need to do better, because that's really important. Like, over 98% of the world suffers with some form of mental illness. It can be really anything. So I
agree with you on that one. Last question: healing from things that affected you in the past. Like, healing is a process, not an overnight thing. It can be a week thing, depending on what you're healing from. Personally, gotta have space to heal. But no, like, for instance, like a death, like for instance of my daughter, I'm healed from that. She was hurt, she was in pain. That'd be selfish of me, and to me to be like, to let her keep going through the same pain over and over. Little girl, I know she in a better place. But people got different ways to heal. It's definitely needed before you pursue anything, relationship or anything you think is gonna hurt your chances of, bettering your future. Healing from things that affected you in the past.
Okay. So first of all, healing in general, I feel like I agree with you in that aspect. Healing can mean a variety of different things depending on what you're healing from, because there's a lot of different experiences that you experience in life that you will probably need to heal from. So for example, like your first heartbreak, of course that's gonna take some time. You're gonna be sad, crying, or like maybe not crying, maybe you in your feelings, like you really like that person, so it's gonna take some time to heal from that experience, that relationship that you just lost. Or for example, you may not have a good relationship with your mom. That can take years, that can take forever. Like, you could go to the grave with that shit because you don't have a good relationship with your mom. Like, healing has no duration. Healing has no specific definition, in my opinion, because it's different from everybody. Like, I guess one of my life experiences that I've had to heal from is probably like my overall parents, and like, once again, my mom telling me how to fit a certain standard, or I had to do this her way, or I had to go like this, or things like that. Like, and then getting distant and not having like a tight as bond as I may have wanted as a little girl. Like, who doesn't want to go on little nail dates with their mom and shit like that? Like, who don't want to do that? who don't want to be excited when, you know, you get an accomplishment and not run and go tell your mom. Like, of course, everybody wants to go do that. So I think that's probably something I'm glad that I healed from it, because for years, my healing coping skill, it was just not the best. I was young and I did not care about the circumstances, any of the things that could have happened based on the decisions I was making. I was drinking and I was smoking and I was going to parties and I was out late and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. But it was an aspect of like, I didn't want to feel that pain. I wanted to feel numb. I didn't want to feel anything in that regard. And it took me a couple years to heal from that. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I said I feel like it don't have a duration, because just like when somebody, you know, passes away, like when my aunt passed away, yeah, it took me a couple years as well to get over that, but it didn't take me as long to heal from me not having a bond with my mom. And then probably like my dad, knowing that like he wanted to be there, but like there were certain things put in place as to why he couldn't be there. So like those healing experiences, it took a good chunk of time. I'm talking about 3, 4, maybe even 5 years to heal over that, and then also forgive them and understand that, yeah, that happened to you, but they were also going through something on their own. You know, like my mom, she had her own childhood trauma, she had her own wounds, her own things that she was going through. Everybody has to realize that everybody is going through something at the end of the day, big or small. So I learned to forgive her because of how she was raised and how her mindset developed because of how she was raised. So I forgave her for that. My dad not being able to fully, you know, be in my life, even though he may have wanted to, I had to forgive him for that, because first of all, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has something going on. So I had to learn to forgive other people for their faults in life, because life doesn't have an open handbook that tells you exactly how to do it so you can become a multi-billionaire and have, you know, the car that you want, how to have the perfect credit score. Like, nobody has a handbook for that shit. You may type it on the internet, but nobody has a handbook for that shit. So like, that's how I feel about healing. Like, it's different for everybody, but when you heal, you have to understand that forgiveness takes place as well. That's how I feel about that question.
Personal growth and self-improvement. Personal growth for me personally was I just wanted better. I didn't get everything I wanted. So I knew I had an opportunity to, like, for instance, job offers, like nice things. I want nice cars, nice house, nice clothes. I just want to do whatever I want to, like, without even no question, like pushing to get what you want. I want to live financial free.
Growth and self-improvement for me and how it shaped me into the person I was today, it would definitely be, you know, how I was brought up. Once again, you know, not being able to have everything. You know, of course I had some things, but not have everything. Like, I couldn't go in the store and be like, oh, I want this, and it'd be put in a cart or some shit. Like, it could be $300. Like, she ain't finna put that shit in the cart. Like, there was, like, you know, things that people wanted. Like, I wanted, like, the nice shoes, I wanted the nice clothes, and I always wanted my hair to be done, and not realizing that, first of all, it's hella expensive to even do your natural hair, let alone to get your hair done. So like, I didn't have everything I wanted, but that personal growth showed me to, one, that made me who I am today is because I couldn't have everything I want. I decided to teach myself how to do it so I can do it myself to get what I want. So like running a business, I ran multiple businesses. I still have a business I'm currently running. Like, I didn't go to school for that shit, but I definitely learned every single aspect of that I needed to know in regards to knowledge on it. Like, YouTube and Google was my best friend. You couldn't tell a 15-year-old Kiara shit. Like, that was my shit for real. And then I was like, okay, I like to go get my nails done, but you know, I'm gonna teach myself how to do it. So I taught myself how to do nails, and now I can do nails. I can do press-ons, I can do gel eggs, I can do literally the whole book. I can even do polygel nails. Like, the list really goes on for real. And then, like, in another aspect, because I didn't have things that I always wanted, or there was things that I could not do. So for example, I wanted to, you know, wear lip gloss and learn how to do makeup. So, okay, my mom, I'm too young, she's not about to go buy me to wear makeup. I can't leave the house in the makeup. But like, an alternative is, oh, she's letting me play in her. So I'm learning how to do makeup. I'm learning the different terms, the right brushes to use, and what this is meant for and what this is meant for. So the overall personal growth and self overall improvement is all based of like, because I could not have it, I decided to teach myself how to do it. So there's literally nothing in the world you can tell me that I can't do that I cannot make myself learn how to do. That was all the questions, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay.